Hello, everyone. I said to Lo that this one is mine. I want to ask Vince, and it's something that's been on my mind for such a long time. So, my question: when was Eve created?
Right. I think what trips up a lot of people is that when we look at the creation story, we look at Genesis chapter 1 or in Bereshit chapter 1, we have this overlay, right? And then we get certain information in it. And then we go into chapter 2, where it seems to go into more detail. And when we kind of read it as if it's one solid story, then we get two different sort of different ideas, all right? So we'll go back to the text and let's see what the Bible has to say. So in Genesis chapter 1, in Bereshit chapter 1, read from verse 24. And God said, let the earth bring forth from each kind of living creature, each kind of livestock, crawling animal, and wild beast, and that is how it was. God made each of the wild beasts, each kind of livestock, and every kind of animal that crawls along the ground, and God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us make mankind or humankind in our image, in the likeness of ourselves, and let them rule over the fish in the sea and the birds of the air, the fish in the sea and the birds of the air and the animals, and over all the earth, and over every crawling creature that crawls on the earth. So God created humankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them. So here it kind of gives us, it's the same day all the animals were created. So we got that done. If you study the chapter, it's day 6, right? And then when we go to chapter 2, this is where I think it throws people. Right after, it goes in and it says, thus everything was finished, then it was the Sabbath day, and then he jumps down into more detail. And if you look at from verse, let's say around verse 5, and it says, so after the Sabbath, it says, there was as yet no wild bush on the earth, and no wild plant had yet sprung up, for Adonai had not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no one to cultivate the ground. Rather, in the midst went up from the earth, which watered the entire surface of the ground. Then Adonai, God, formed a man, Adam, from the dust of the ground, and he breathed into his nostrils a life, and so he became a living being. So here, if we were to draw our timeline, and then we would say, okay, well, there's creation 1, day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then he stops, then it's Sabbath, focuses on his creation. Chapter 2 doesn't give us a continuation of that story. He goes back into the detail of the first chapter.
Aha.
So then he says, all right, well, in day 6, this is what I did. And he expounds on what he was busy doing there. And in the midst of this sort of, and we'll get into this in a few other videos, but the way he created and why he created seems to set up a lot more than the when. But yeah, definitely male and female seem to be created on day 6.
Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.